to River Oaks and Fort Worth. I'd like to read it aloud for everybody and then kind of speak on some of the things that go into this letter. But I want to preface that letter by saying that what I call for or ask for in this letter is nothing hard in stone that I'm asking for. I'm not an expert. We are not traffic experts. All I'm saying is that we need to open the conversation, which has been opened before according to my research, and I'll speak on that a little bit more. So the subject line of this letter is, do something more than nothing. To those vested in our River Oaks community, I recently purchased my first home on Roberts Cutoff, perched up on the hill near the elementary. After bouncing around military deployments for the better part of my 20s, I've been home for months, but only very recently did I find a rhythm in re-embracing civilian life. That is, until I heard of the news of last night's street race on River Oaks Boulevard, which ended in innocents being killed. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Since moving to Roberts Cutoff this summer, I've daily and nightly hoped to God that the dozens and hundreds of drivers speeding down the streets don't kill someone. Last night they did. I'm not interested in placing blame. Rather, I'm requesting, no, I'm expecting leadership to respond in some capacity. Surrounding communities like Westward, Lake Worth, or others seem to have been ahead of the curve in helping to prevent similar fatalities caused by speeding by way of enforcing some type of speed barrier. Of course, those communities' leaders and departments cannot prevent all tragedies, but they did something more than nothing. In a time where tragic news floods our senses every single day, I'm asking you to not turn your shoulders to this very real and persistent issue, recklessness on the roads of River Oaks. I pray that my neighbors' children are not hit by careless drivers, whether on Roberts Cutoff, Skyline, the Boulevard, you name it. I pray that we do not continue to lose life due to recklessness in our community, and I pray that our community's leadership employs common sense measures to address the issue. I list three methods possibly of overcoming these. Once again, I'm not a traffic expert. We're not traffic experts. We're just opening up the conversation. 1, strictly enforce speed limits during non-rush hours. 2, lower current speed limits on particular roads. And 3, install speed barriers of some sort in the most residentially populated areas of those roads. Lastly, I ask that this open letter be shared with everyone at the City Hall who very well could have been in the shoes of those who lost their lives that night. That's the end of it. I shared this letter on the River Oaks pages on Facebook. You guys are awesome as neighbors. I've only been here a couple weeks and we're all helping each other with information, this and that. Those pages are great and they're real people, they're real voices, real neighbors. And here's what some of those people had to say. This is Teresa. She said, "This has been a total disregard of human life. Their fun has turned 3 families upside down, and she's the grandmother of victim Madison Lake. Delia said that people are forgetting how to be good neighbors. It needs to be spelled out in writing. Regular communication from the city can help." She's talking about just, if you guys are sending out newsletters about such and such, maybe send out a reminder to hey, here's the law. Mike said, "I've contacted River Oaks several times and attended council meetings. I was referred to Fort Worth PD, who did nothing. Several of my neighbors on Gillum Road support new actions on our River Oaks roads." Chesna said, "I recently submitted a traffic calming application for parts of Skyline Road and have requested increased patrols due to repeat speeding. Hopefully, if we band together as a community, we can influence progress." Garrett says, "They, the bad drivers, speed, run stop signs, and sometimes burn out nightly all through Yale Street and Tulane Avenue." Michaela says, "We recently moved to River Oaks and are reluctant to use the service roads parallel to River Oaks Boulevard because constant speeding makes it difficult to judge when it's safe to merge on and off." Nareda said that no sidewalks plus speeding make it extremely dangerous for kids walking to and from on Elman Road day and night. Constant speeding makes our streets unsafe for children. Speed bumps would make sense. And one more note on that, me being on Roberts Cutoff, I have cameras set up that look into the yard and to the road every day. These little kids are walking home from the elementary, and cars are just zooming past them. I'm like, oh.
We live right on Almena.
Yeah.
We live right behind the school, and they zoom through there all day long because it's a detour from the school traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're just hauling butt through there every day.
Exactly. And then this ends with another comment by Miss Brittany. She says, let us not forget the lives that have been taken from us. Let us consider the current and future lives at risk of being taken due to lack of action. And we end with the names of our victims, Madison Lake, Cindy Griffin, and Bishop Glenn. I'll end with saying that Chesna, who recently submitted a traffic calming application, I believe did so with the city of Fort Worth. So when I sent out this open letter to River Oaks and Fort Worth replied to me. Public Works Department, I forget who, replied to me and suggested that I submit a traffic calming application within the zones that are Fort Worth that so happen to kind of fall in River Oaks. So all that they require for that application is that a community consensus be established by whatever means, which I believe we already have done, and then we submit that to the city. Then they bring out their cool tech, they bring out their experts to identify the problems, not leaving it up to us, not leaving it up to, I work in, an industry far outside of this stuff. All I'm saying is that the people who would think maybe, it's all right, no, it's always been this way, we shouldn't do that. You are not qualified to make that assumption. Let's let the experts come and tell us how bad the roads are. So I intend to put that traffic calming application in after this. And I just reiterate, I hope that we at least begin to address it in some capacity. I'm not asking you to spend $1 billion, but do something. As leadership, that's your job. Coming from the military, we always give our line of leadership and our next line leaders and our commanders the opportunity to do something. We don't just skip around and try to do stuff ourselves. So I'm going to you, my next line leaders, and asking you to do something about it. Thank you.
Nick, anyone? Give your name and address, please.
My name is Sue Bates, and I live at 8530 Western Hills Boulevard. My son is Bishop Klein, who has level 3 brain damage. He has lost use of his left eye. And I'm just praying that we can get something done here to stop the street racing. That way more innocent lives are lost. It's just not the innocent lives that are lost. You gotta think about the parents of the family members that caused this. It's just not, we're not suffering. I'm praying for the 19-year-old mother. Because I've been in prison before, and I know what it's like. And my heart breaks for her. But we need help. And it starts right here. Our children need y'all's help, so please. We need to stop this street racing. Thank y'all for hearing me out.
Thank you. Anyone else? Nick?
My name is Teresa Chandler. I live at 2725 Haystack Boulevard, 162, and I am Madison's grandmother. And let me tell you something right now, when we got that fatal phone call, and we had to go on scene to see my son's girlfriend and my granddaughter laying on the ground with a blanket over them. I saw 3 people come out of my home. Nobody returned. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm devastated because of someone's negligent idea to get behind a wheel of a killing machine and made an irresponsible decision to see